Okay, let's be real. We've all sat there staring at a broken deployment, just kind of praying for a win. But running a Bootstrap script and seeing those tests light up solid green? Yeah, that's exactly what the end of week 4 is going to look like. And we are going to get you there in exactly 30 days, working just about 10 hours a week. I know, it probably sounds like a lot right now, but trust me, we've got a proven system for this.
In fact, I want to establish our core thesis right out of the gate. Over the next 30 days, you will install 10 pieces of infrastructure in a specific order, run 3 drills that prove they actually work, and write a 1-page letter that proves you've graduated. The handbook gives you the commands, this explainer series gives you the rhythm. Watch each chapter explainer immediately before doing the work, not a week ahead, not a week behind. The rhythm is the point. That is our unbreakable rule for the next month.
So welcome to the metastructure. Just to set expectations, we are absolutely not teaching you the specific tools today, right? If you're looking for the deep technical nuances of Vault or K3s, you'll want to grab the companion books for that. Today is entirely about how to use the handbook itself. We're laying down the exact tracks you'll be running on for the next 4 weeks.
Here's our roadmap. 1. The 30-day rhythm. 2. Before you press play. 3. The chapter execution loop. 4. When things break. And 5. Graduation to day 2. We'll breeze through these 5 pillars so you can survive this deployment without completely burning out.
Kicking things off with Section 1, the 30-day rhythm.
So you've got roughly 40 hours of work ahead, and it's spread across 4 really distinct weeks. Week 1 is your foundations. Week 2 is tabletop drills. Week 3 gets into live restore drills, and week 4 is cadence. Now listen to me closely on this, especially if this is your first time through. Week 1 is strictly reading for understanding. Do not, under any circumstances, open your terminal. Seriously, don't install a single thing yet. You really need to understand the shape of the whole system before you start turning wrenches.
The execution itself is broken down into 10 sequential chapters. Chapter 1 is Vault, that's your secret store, and you install it first because literally everything else needs it. Chapter 2 is Vault Config as code, letting you change policies via Ansible pull requests so you aren't passing around root tokens. Chapter 3 is K3s, giving you a really lightweight Kubernetes foundation. Then Chapter 4 layers on External Secrets Operator to securely connect your cluster to Vault without risky long-lived tokens. Chapter 5, all about backups, making sure your data is off-site and ready for disaster. Chapter 6 locks down SOPs for ops-only repository secrets. Chapter 7 hands your maintenance over to Renovate so your dependencies don't rot. Chapter 8 secures your supply chain with Cosign. Chapter 9 closes the loop with monitoring so you actually know what's happening. And Chapter 10 is the 30-day plan to lock in those operational habits. It is a precise, unbroken chain.
Moving right along to Section 2, before you press play.
Look, you have to get your environment perfectly staged before you even touch Chapter 1. You're going to need a WSL2 or Linux workstation and a fresh Proxmox VM. You need GitHub admin access. Grab a Backblaze B2 account for those offsite backups, 1Password or something similar, and a healthchecks.io account. Oh, and yes, a physical printer and a fireproof safe. I know, it's tedious, it feels super analog, but I promise it gets faster. When disaster recovery is actually on the line, those physical items are an absolute lifesaver.
Okay, I need to pause right here. 5. If you do not have 5 trusted human beings willing to hold a Vault Unseal shard, I want you to stop this explainer right now and go fix that. I've got the scars to prove how important this is. Literally everything else we just talked about can be worked around. This cannot. Without those 5 peers, nothing in this architecture functions securely.
All right, Section 3, the chapter execution loop. Once those prerequisites are locked in, you're going to tackle every single chapter using a very rigid methodology. Step 1. Watch the explainer end to end. It takes about 15 minutes and your terminal should be completely closed. Step 2. Open the handbook, skim the text for about 5 minutes. Step 3. Now you can open your terminal, rewatch the explainer, and pause it at every single command. Step 4. Run the command, then immediately run the verification command. If that verification fails, do not skip ahead. Whatever you do, don't just blindly type the next thing. The explainer will show you the fix at that exact timestamp.
And hey, at the end of every chapter, you check the Day 30 milestone. This is basically a list of things you should be able to do from memory after a month of practice. If you finish Chapter 1 today and you can't hit that milestone yet, don't stress. It's a 30-day goal, not a Day 1 requirement. Which brings us to Section 4, when things break. Because, well, they will for sure.
We've all been there. You run a command and boom, wall of red text.
When that happens, here is your strict escalation path. First, go check the handbook's Common Pitfalls section. Second, jump to the explainer's Anti-Patterns timestamp. Third, look at the pre-written pitfalls entries in the repo. Fourth, ask your peer. And finally, hit up GitHub discussions. The golden rule? Never just keep typing harder. If something fails and you don't know why, just stop. Use the safety net.
And finally, Section 5, graduation to day 2. Basically, what does crossing the finish line actually look like?
Well, it looks like 92%. Our handbook's graduation checklist has 12 items. If you manage to hit 11 out of 12, that's 92%, and we consider that real graduation. You survived, you built the thing, you can totally take your time and chase down that final 12th item in week 5.
To officially graduate, you need to produce some tangible artifacts. You've got to run your tests green on a fresh checkout, update your handoff.md, write 5 of your own pitfalls entries, execute 3 real drills with after-action reports, run through your monthly chores list, write a vacation letter so you can actually log off and take a break, and contact those 5 vault key holders. When you've got all that done, you're not just following a tutorial anymore. You own the system.
So let's wrap this up exactly where we started. Watch each chapter explainer immediately before doing the work. The rhythm is the point. Go gather your prerequisites and lock in those 5 key holders, because once you establish this rhythm, you're honestly going to wonder how you ever deployed infrastructure any other way. I'll see you in Chapter 1.